What's going on, internet? The Black Hokage, aka TBH, and I'd like to welcome you guys to another episode of Hokage Thots, the show where ain't no hoes, but we do think out loud here on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or whatever you choose to use to listen to this show. I just totally messed that, but whatever. I cannot talk. Listen. Today in which I'm recording this episode is October 10th, 2019, and what's new with me? So I got a new camera, guys. I got a Sony a6400 with a Sigma wide angle lens. I think it's a 16 millimeter if anybody knows anything about cameras. It's a real wide angle lens, super high quality, but on the video version of this I am not using it. I'm still using my old webcam. I plan on upgrading it, but it was giving me some technical issues, and like I wanted to go with the tried and true setup before I started recording, and then the camera freezes on me or something like that. So I don't really have time to troubleshoot right now, because for those you unaware, the time in which I'm recording this, I've also been running all over the place, running errands, packing and doing stuff, because I'm going to Florida for a week. My boy JG is getting married, so we going down there for that. So I wanted to get an episode out of the way real quick before we go down there and celebrate marriage and love and being all in the air and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't getting married, I'm saying, I'm a motherfucking gangster, but maybe one day, but not right now. We're gonna support the man's JG. But yeah, new camera, going to the wedding. And then also just a few quick hits before we get into the big stories of the week. This week we're gonna be talking about gaming, we're gonna be talking about tech, a little bit of life, and I got a music thing or whatever. Some quick things to get out of the way. I just don't really have a lot to say about this. Call of Duty Mobile. I should be ashamed of how much I've been playing this. I'm like level 25 now. I'm probably gonna prestige, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not. Listen, bro. Call of Duty Mobile is lit, bro. Mobile gaming is here, and like low key, I feel like I should be ashamed for how much I've been enjoying this. Like, I'm like I've uninstalled so many games this year that I could probably do top 10 games uninstalled 2019, because it's just so many games. Like, my new thing, right, is I don't want to force myself to play anything that I don't enjoy for like the sake of a review or whatever, just so I can say pick it up when the price drops. If I'm not enjoying it, I'm just gonna be like, I'm just gonna uninstall it. Doesn't mean it's a terrible game, and if it is a terrible game, it's getting motherfucking installed as well. It's just, now I ask myself, do I think, if it's a single player game, I ask myself, do I think I could finish this game? If the answer is no, I'm gonna uninstall it. And if you guys ask me, I'll tell you why. It doesn't mean it's terrible. It just means like I'm probably not gonna beat this game, bro. It's just, it doesn't inspire me enough to play this shit. And it really bothers me that I'm enjoying Call of Duty Mobile this much, bro, because like y'all know I have an abusive relationship with Call of Duty, just like NBA 2K, man. Like, it's like, 1 year you love it, 1 year you hate it. This new Modern Warfare seems like it's going to be pretty good. And then they also came out with the Call of Duty Mobile. I mean, we knew it was coming, but I didn't think it was going to be this good. Like, I literally be playing it like every night before bed for like 30 minutes or some shit like that. I like it because it's quick, fast, you can get in and have fun. This is how I know I'm getting old too, because I'm just tired. Y'all see, listen, if you come through to the streams, I've been streaming Assassin's Creed Odyssey for the past year, and part of it is because there's actually a ton of content. There is a ton of content, and I really enjoy the game. That's why I have not dropped it, but at the same time, the game never fucking ends. Last time I checked, which was like a week ago, I had like 150 hours on the game, and I'm pretty sure it's like 160 at this point because I haven't checked it recently. But Call of Duty Mobile, man, like, mobile controls are not the best, but they did find a way around it. If you haven't played the game, the way it works is there's an analog stick on the left hand side of the screen, so you use your thumb to move that analog stick around. If you played mobile games, you've been familiar with that. But where it differs is most mobile shooters, and this is why I hate them, they have a shooting button on the right hand side, and right above the shooting button on the right hand side, they have like a reload button. On this joint, you can do that, but that's in a part of the advanced control setup. The basic default control setup is you control with the left analog stick, and all you have to do is use your right thumb to aim the gun. And as long as you're pointing in their direction, like, you have to keep your cursor on them for like a millisecond, it'll start shooting. It has an auto shoot function. So the way it works is the game becomes less about pulling the trigger, and it just becomes more about map awareness, situational awareness. So I'd argue, like, people say like it's too easy or whatever, and I think it's because it's a lot of kids probably playing, a lot of broke boys who can't afford like consoles and PC gaming, so they hop on Call of Duty Mobile. But maybe that's that's probably why I like it, bro. I'm not gonna lie, Call of Duty Mobile is a morale booster, bro. If you have listen, Linda, if you having a bad day, hop on that motherfucking Call of Duty Mobile, and I swear to God, That shit will make your day a whole lot better. The first game I played was Call of Duty Mobile. On Call of Duty Mobile, I got 10 kills. Posted it on Twitter. Everybody was like, chill, bro. You ain't even that nice. Those are bots. So then I found out that, yeah, it is true. Like the first like 2 or 3 games you play, it is bots. So I was feeling myself. I was like, all right, well, maybe it's just bots or whatever. And you'll know when you start playing real people. Like I said, it's like the first 2-3 games are bots. But once you start playing real people, it does get a little bit more difficult. But I still be averaging like 20 kills a game. I posted one game that I had on Twitter. I had 40 kills. If you play TDM online, the match is to 50. I had 40 of the 50 points, and I was playing against real humans. I was bodying Timmy. I was bodying Paul. I was bodying Jose, bro. Can't nobody fucking stop me in that Call of Duty shit, bro. And I think part of it is I'm just nice because I play a lot of mobile games. If you follow the GI channel at youtube.com/GI updates, you know I do mobile reviews, although I haven't done it in a while. But this has kind of inspired me to bring the mobile reviews back. You know I'm motherfucking nice at these fucking mobile games because I play this shit. Like, it's not a joke. It's not like, and I haven't implemented it onto the main channel because I feel like and this doesn't apply to everybody, so this doesn't apply, let it fly, but I feel like a large portion of the people that follow me on my main channel only want to see certain things. And also, if I do certain things, like people don't understand what you put on the internet is what you choose to project. That doesn't, you're not getting the full picture of their personality. Like, I really do this mobile shit. Like, I really have like a fucking million mobile games on my fucking phone. If you're watching the video version, like, I can show you, bro. I literally have a shit ton of mobile games, and then I have a whole folder too, like right there or whatever. Like, I really do this mobile shit. Because like, you can't dismiss it. If you haven't played mobile games in like 10 years, I can understand like why you think that they might be shit, but it has changed a lot, man. Oh, and Call of Duty Mobile, I'm all over the place. I apologize. Y'all know how this podcast is. You know, the funny thing about this podcast is, like, every time before I hit record, I'm like, I don't know where this joint gonna go. But as soon as I start talking, I just get in my bag, bro. I just get in my bag. All right, let's stop. What's the name? The cool thing about Call of Duty Mobile 2 is not only do they have the auto shoot feature, so it's all about positioning it in the map or whatever, but this game has voice chat, nigga. There are squeakers on Call of Duty Mobile. This shit is funny. And like, you can choose to every match has voice chat, so it obviously uses your phone's microphone. There's a mute and unmute button on the top right of the screen, so you can tap it at any time in the match if somebody's being annoying or whatever. But I was like, yo, it's one of those things where like, you have to sit there and play it, and you just have to admire how far technology has come. Like, it's a beautiful thing. So I'm not saying it's the greatest game ever, but it is fun. It's Call of Duty Mobile is basically fucking Call of Duty's greatest hits. It has Nuketown, it has fucking like all the classic maps from Call of Duty just combined into one, into like a free-to-play format. There are like there's a lot of shit that be popping up on the screen. They be trying to get you to buy stuff. There's like a battle pass, but from my experience of playing it, you don't have to buy any of that if you're good at the game. I've been getting plenty of weapon upgrades and different type of cosmetics and shit without I haven't paid for anything. So if you're looking for something to play, check out Call of Duty Mobile. I guess that was kind of like a miniature review or whatever. I don't know if I'll do a video for the GI channel. Other quick gaming news: PS5. The news came out the other day that they're shooting for a holiday 2020 window. So that means the PS5 will be coming out between probably October and December of 2020. If I had to guess, probably November, like a month before Christmas, because then it gives time for them to, because realistically, if the PS5 comes out in November, it's gonna sell out like that first month, and then, or week probably, and then it'll probably give them enough time to restock for Christmas or whatever. So if I had to guess, I'm gonna guess PS5 comes out October, November of 2020. So look out for that. Don't know what to expect in terms of games and all that other shit, but look out for it. Other quick stuff: Mario Kart World Tour came out since the last podcast. That is the mobile version of Mario Kart, is available on iOS and Android. I was excited about this shit, I'm not gonna lie, as a mobile gamer, because it honestly looks equivalent to like the Wii U Switch version of the new Mario Kart in terms of like graphics. But from what I'm hearing, you're playing against bots, so there's no online play. This shit would have been fire if it had online play that you could take on the go, so I could play that shit in the airport or could play it on the road trip or whatever. But nah, you're playing against bots, and then they have a $10 a month subscription service, and that'll let you play 200cc, which is like the fastest and the hardest mode in the game. So fuck that game. I'm not paying $10 a month to play Mario Kart on the phone. Fuck out of here. Like, maybe you guys could have got away with like a one-time $5 fee, but like $10 a month, Nintendo, you bugging. And I said this on the GI podcast, and I'm gonna say it again here in case you missed that joint. Nintendo is testing y'all. I told y'all about this shit way back in NBA 2K13, 2K14 whenever they first introduced VC. I said I can see where this is going. Community, don't buy that VC because it's gonna get worse every year. They testing to see. Basically, when NBA 2K14 first came out, I think that was the one with the first one with VC. What they were basically doing is Take-Two and fucking 2K were putting the dick in everybody's butt, and they just put the tip, you know. They see how much you. Oh, Fleece Johnson said, "Oh, you're okay with this? Well, we're just gonna put it in a little bit further every year." This is what Nintendo's doing right now. They putting just the tip of the dick in your butt right now, and they're gonna see what you better not buy this shit, because I'm telling you right now, Nintendo is testing the mobile market to see if y'all will pay for this shit, $10 a month, and I guarantee you, it might be late in the lifespan of the Switch, or it might be the next Nintendo console. They're gonna start being on that microtransaction bullshit. They're gonna be like, wow, niggas really love Mario. Well, shit, let's make Mario Maker 3 a live service where you pay $10 a month and you get 5 free assets a month. Like, bro, nah, bro. Nintendo is the last stronghold for gaming that ain't on that bullshit. Don't support this. I'm telling you. Speaking of microtransactions as well too, Ghost Recon Breakpoint, or should I say Ghost Recon Uninstall Point, that game got uninstalled. I got a week's early access to that game, and you would know that if you came through to the live streams at twitch.tv/theblack and I live streamed it early, and I appreciate the code, Ubisoft, but that shit is boring, bro. Like, it's not a terrible game, but it's just fucking boring. It's like, it's another looter shooter. It's another big open world with nothing in it, just like Wildlands. The story wasn't really doing nothing for me. It's one of those games where it feels like you only can have fun if you have a group of friends to play with, and I feel like any game that requires a group of friends to play with isn't that fun, because you can make a game of tips fun with your friend. You can make anything fun if you're playing with your friends, because you guys are friends and you guys can feed off each other's chemistry. So I uninstalled it because it was boring as shit after about a couple hours of playing it. And then if I would have dove deeper into it, I would have found it, but I found this from like a bunch of videos. Ghost Recon is another game that has a shit ton of microtransactions in it, and shame on you for Ubisoft. Apparently it has like thousands of dollars worth of microtransactions in the game. I don't know if it's pay to win. I know some of it is cosmetics, but it's just a lot of shit that it's like, why is this not in the fucking game? Like, what's the point of playing the game if I can't unlock anything? So once again, and I almost felt bad because I uninstalled Ghost, because people were joking, right? Like, normally you wait till the game comes out before you uninstall it. This is the first time I uninstalled a game on stream, day 0, before the game even came out. So Ghost Recon Uninstall Point, I felt kind of bad. I was like, damn, maybe I didn't give this game another chance. And I thought about reinstalling it. I did the same thing with Kingdom Hearts 3. I was like, man, maybe I didn't give this game another chance, and I uninstalled that game again. That shit was boring. I don't care what anybody says, that game is overrated. Yeah, I was like, maybe I should give Ghost Recon another chance, and I ended up not. Once I saw all the reviews, I was like, okay, so where there's smoke, there's fire. I wasn't being a hater. I wasn't being crazy. This shit is boring. Like, lots of videos, like Kroby Cat came out with a video. Another channel that's basically like a carbon copy of Kroby Cat came out with a video showing off all the glitches and bugs. People in the reviews are talking about how boring it is. I'm basically seeing like 5s and 6s across the board. Not a terrible game. A 6 out of 10 is not a terrible game. Ghost Recon's a Destiny. It's a Destiny, but I think not Destiny. Well, Destiny 1 was a 6. I mean, Anthem. It's an Anthem. I think the difference is because it's like a grounded military looter shooter. I didn't have any fun with it versus Anthem. I don't care what anybody says. At least for a few hours, it was fun to fly around and play as Iron Man. I know it was cool to shit on that game, but I did have some fun with it. So I'm not gonna lie. Like, I had more fun with Anthem than fucking Ghost Recon. So that's what I would say. I don't know. Wait till the price drops or something. And then Call of Duty. These are supposed to be quick hits, and like I said, these are supposed to be quick hits on my notes, and we're almost like 15 minutes into the damn podcast. Call of Duty. It was revealed that it will be 175 gigabytes on your hard drive. So if you have the OG PS4 that came with like fucking 500 gigs, you better clear more than 1/5 of your hard drive, nigga, because you're gonna need it. fucking this gen's gonna blow PCs up. And from my understanding, they were saying that it has something to do, I think the game has like 4 8K textures in it or something, so it's like it's gonna have a crazy requirement. They said in this statement, and each of the specs, the hard drive references of 175 gigabytes storage space we recommend players keep available in order to download the post-launch content we'll be bringing to Modern Warfare at launch, and the initial download will be smaller. So maybe it's like reserving. It's gonna take 175 period because all the post-launch content is going to be free. So I guess they're just going to take the 175 from your hard drive so that your hard drive is ready for all that content they drop. Whatever, just be aware of it. Clear your hard drive if you're planning on playing the new Call of Duty Modern Warfare. It comes out at the end of the month. But let's get into the big story. The big story, man. Ooh, it's about to get real spooky. Let me get a swig of this water. Push it. No ASMR. You know, I don't like to talk politics on this fucking channel. I mean, this is a gaming channel, but this is one of the few times where politics. By the way, if you're watching the video version, I apologize. You're probably wondering what the fuck this shit is that's like dangling on my damn microphone. This is how I troll on PS4 because I don't have like a proper PS4 mic. I use the earbuds, the $10 earbuds from like the gas station and shit, because it has a mic built into it, plug into the PS4 controller, but I don't like the cord dangling, so I wrapped it around my mic, and then I keep my controller like that, and I just talk into it. So when I'm talking in the park and I'm talking shit, that's how I talk. But anyways, the big story. I don't like to talk politics like that, but this is one of the few times where politics and gaming collide. And it's a spooky time in America. That's all. Honestly, that's my input on this shit. It is a spooky time in fucking America. I'm not gonna lie, I'm getting old. This shit making me paranoid, bro. Especially after seeing all these Red Scare movies, like fucking Red October and shit. I don't know. God damn, camera getting fucking whatever. It'll find its focus eventually. There we go. So for those of you unaware, China's taken over America. So this started with and we're gonna get to the gaming. This started with the NBA, believe it or not. So for those of you who don't follow sports, this is a pretty big deal in the last week in the NBA. So right now, the NBA season has just started. No, the NBA preseason at least. And this is an exciting time. I'm not gonna lie. If you don't know nothing about basketball, it's an exciting time right now, bro. Because fucking the Warriors, they don't have KD anymore, and then Klay Thompson got injured, but they still got D'Angelo Russell and Steph Curry and DeAndre. What's the name? Green? What? I forgot his fucking name. Draymond Green. My bad. So they still have a decent team. But this is the first year and probably like the last 5 years for the NBA where it feels like the trophy, the running for the trophy is open. Anybody can win it. The Bucks can win it. The Sixers can win it. Fucking the Warriors can win it. Fucking Lakers, the Clippers. Freaking, there's so many nice squads out, and it just feels like it's for the taking, so everybody's excited. That's one of the reasons why you didn't see anybody play for Team USA, because didn't nobody want to get injured, didn't nobody want to be tired for when the NBA season started, because the trophy is wide open for the taking now. It's no team that's like super fucking stacked this year. Competition is back in the NBA, and it's exciting. And then you got the storyline with Zion out there. He put up 29 points last night, hitting dunks and shit. And then they came back or whatever, but they played better when Zion was off the court, which was weird. But he still put up 29 points. Shit, crazy. Fucking, you got Ja Morant. Yo, listen. LaMelo Ball is balling right now, bro. If you have not been paying attention to Illawalla Hawks, he plays for the Illawalla Hawks. I cannot talk. The Illawarra Hawks. He plays for them in in Australia. That's like some small town in Australia or whatever. He's playing for them. He's getting rave reviews from like coaches and shit and scouts. They're saying that he's very humble. He's practicing really hard. He's working out. He's been balling out. I know y'all seen the clips of my man fucking. I'm about to get a LaMelo jersey. I know y'all seen the clips of my man breaking that dude's ankles twice, and then he threw the ooh up and that bum missed the fucking dunk. Whoever that was that missed the dunk, if you was trying to make it to the league, if you was trying to make it to the NBA, that was your chance to go viral. And you fumbled the bag. That's what we really need to talk about. What was that dude's name? You fumbled the bag when you missed that damn dunk, bro. But shout out to LaMelo Ball. He's balling. His NBA draft stock is going the fuck up because he's doing really good over there. And as like old boy likes to say in the NBL, the black dude, I forgot his name, but he's on the talk show, one of the main hosts. This ain't a cupcake league. The NBL league, I think they said it's like the third best league in the world or whatever. So it's a lot of NBA or ex-NBA players over there. But who also went over there is RJ Hampton. And originally I felt bad for RJ because how the fuck did we get on this topic? I don't know. I felt bad for RJ because he was the first to announce that he was going to the NBL. He was skipping college, and then LaMelo came behind him and kind of stole his thunder. But then it kind of cooled down, and it kind of seemed like, all right, well, RJ and LaMelo are there. We're gonna watch both. Can't wait to see them play. I'm not gonna lie, RJ, you got time to get better. I mean, he's only 18, he's a young kid, and he reclassified. From my understanding, he's supposed to be a senior this year, so he came out as a junior to play professional basketball, basically. He's not looking good, man. He's not looking good. He's got time to grow. I see people shitting on him way too hard. I don't want to go too hard on him because he's a kid and he's always going to get stronger, better decision making. But it is looking a little spooky for him right now. I'm not going to lie. Freaking, what was it? And NBA, you guys need to do this more. This is really fucking dope. And this pertains to the story that I'm going to get to the point. I'm going to get to the point of what I was talking about originally. A lot of international games are going on, and the New Zealand Breakers, who play in the NBL, the Australian League, the New Zealand Breakers have RJ Hampton, and they played against Ja Morant and the Memphis Grizzlies. And Ja and the Grizz gave them boys the work. And I'm gonna be honest, I think Ja's probably gonna win Rookie of the Year. Everybody keeps talking about Zion because he has the hype, but if we're talking about who's the most NBA ready and who looks the most special, Ja Morant looks like he's gonna have a better career than me. That dude's looking nice, like he's gonna develop really well. He's just very poised on the court if you watch him. The Memphis Grizzlies gave them the New Zealand Breakers the work, and what makes it worse is it's the Memphis Grizzlies. Like, Ja's nice, but they're not winning anything this year. So and RJ Hampton went for like 1 for 8. So he's looking a little spooky, but that's beside the point. International games are being played in the preseason, which is really dope. NBA, I really hope that you guys consider keep doing that. There's a lot of Chinese teams coming over too that are playing, and what happened was, it was the general manager of the Houston Rockets. He said he stands with Hong Kong and he stands with democracy or whatever, which, I mean, I'm gonna be real. I stand from a democracy too. Freedom's cool. You know, I like to be able to record this podcast and say whatever the fuck I want. And China didn't like that, because for those of you unaware, there's a whole situation going on over there in Hong Kong. They're protesting. From my understanding, from a video that I watched, there was some type of so Hong Kong belongs to China, and it's like a subsidiary or some shit like that. I don't know what the word it is I'm looking for, but the way that it works is China has its own separate government and Hong Kong had its own separate government, but Hong Kong was always technically part of China, but I think it was a British colony, and when Britain gave it back, they signed a 99-year deal where like Hong Kong would be a democracy, basically upkeeping the ideas of like Britain. But once that treaty was up, I think China had the right to take them back and make them a communist state. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not trying to spread for information. I'm not saying I'm 100% sure. Just from what I've watched and I read, I'm like 95% sure that's what it was. There was a 99-year deal, and that deal is about to expire, and I think China's trying to absorb Hong Kong back, I believe, or something like that, and it's causing a lot of unrest because, I mean, if you think about it, for 100 years, Hong Kong has been a democracy. They've been their own thing, and that's like 2-3 generations of families, and they don't want to be a communist state. They don't want to be part of the Big Brother shit or whatever. So there's a lot of protests going on over there. I'm not 100% sure. Like I said, I'm like 95% sure. Long story short, the general manager of the Houston Rockets said he stands with Hong Kong. He stands for democracy. And China did not like that shit. And mind you, China, there's like 3 Chinese teams over here in the States that are playing preseason games against the NBA. And to make matters worse, there are teams over there that are supposed to go over to China and play some Chinese teams. And I'm not gonna lie, like, I was sitting back watching this shit. I was like, the NBA should consider pulling our brothers back. Cause like that shit is low-key, it could get spooky, it could get dangerous. Like, I just don't want no type of altercation to break out from this, man. Like, it's been a time of peace for a long time, and it's like, I would hate for some dumb shit to pop off over some NBA basketball. But yeah, China don't like the fact that niggas is talking about democracy. They do not like that shit. And then basically the Houston Rockets, the CEO, he threw the general manager under the bus and made him apologize publicly. And then to make matters worse, how this relates to gaming is literally like 2 days after this NBA shit happened, freaking a player for the Hong Kong Hearthstone team, he said that he stands with Hong Kong and he stands with democracy, all that shit. He's a protester. Excuse me, burped in y'all ear and shit. Y'all like that? He said that he stands with Hong Kong, support Hong Kong and all this other shit. and freaking the Blizzard basically, so the dude who's on the Hong Kong Hearthstone team, he won the recent like online tournament or whatever, and he won a bunch of prize money. Blizzard took away his prize money, and they took away his status as like champion, and they suspended him for a year from competitive Hearthstone play because basically he was protesting China or whatever. So, and then to make matters worse, what was it, what's the show, South Park, they came out with an episode literally, and it was actually really creepy. It was an episode the day before the NBA stuff happened. South Park came out with an episode basically talking about China and how much they own American businesses and shit like that. And they had like fucking what was it, the Beard, freaking James Harden on the episode talking about how much he loves it. It was all just kind of creepy, the sense of timing or whatever. But if anything, I think what I can take out of this story is it sucks what's going on, but also it's really fucking creepy, and I advise everybody to start paying attention to how much fucking China owns. And I learned that China owns a big chunk of the fucking NBA, bro. Apparently, they have something called NBA. They couldn't do the broadcasting from the States to China for very business reasons. So then the commissioner at the time, not the current one, but the last one, he created NBA China, and then he gave exclusive broadcasting rights to China. And right now they have a 5-year $1.5 billion deal plus merchandising and all that other stuff, ticket sales and stuff like that, towards China. So basically a big chunk of money. Part of the reason we've seen such a big explosion in the NBA popularity is the Chinese market. The Chinese people love basketball. Like they were saying that like in China they don't have Twitter because of censorship. They have something called Weibo. It's their version of it, and they were saying the NBA Weibo has more followers than NBA's Twitter, I think. And I was like, that's crazy, bro. Like technically NBA is bigger over in China than it is over in the States, and that's not because I think they love basketball as much. Like basketball is an American thing. Niggas is coming to dunk on you, bro. It's an American thing, but I think it's more so it's a numbers thing. In China they have like 2 billion people and growing. And then they recently got rid of the 1 kid rule, and now you can have 2 kids. Like I think that was like back in 2015 or something like that. So it just fucking sucks. And like that's the thing that scares me the most. Like they own a big portion of the NBA, and that's why the Houston Rockets threw the general manager under the bus. Everybody's condemning him and shit like that. You got like fans that were showing up to some of these preseason games talking about free Hong Kong and all this shit. There's protests going on in the game. If you don't follow sports, if you don't follow esports like Blizzard and shit, really pay attention to this story, because some shit could fucking pop off. And it low-key makes me nervous, and it high-key makes me nervous how much China has invested in a lot of our business. Like a lot of people don't know, China owns TikTok. For those of you unaware, newsflash, I was talking about this on my stream. I think I had like 700 people on my stream, twitch.tv/the Black Hokage, follow me. And like the majority of the people in the chat, they didn't know that TikTok is a Chinese owned company. I think it's Tencent that owns them. Tencent also owns the broadcasting rights to the NBA too. And the reason I know is I did research on them, but then also what confirmed it is TikTok. I'll give a little inside story. TikTok was trying to pay me. They was trying to throw a bag to me to come basically post content on TikTok, but the bag wasn't big enough for me to go over there because I wanted promotion. I was like, yo, I'm willing to take less money if you guys can guarantee me the algorithm is going to favor me, but they didn't want to do that or whatever. And I'm not going to just take a bag and post some clips and get 50 views or whatever and look stupid. Like I want growth, basically. I want some long-term money. But yeah, China owns TikTok. China owns a large portion of the NBA. And I guess Blizzard don't got no damn backbone because they just suspended this dude for a fucking year. This shit is fucking crazy. The shit is fucking crazy. All I can say is pay attention to it. I don't want to spread too much false information with this whole politics and shit like that. That's all I got to say on it. I'm paranoid, and pay attention. I advise for those of you who have not been paying attention, start paying attention because the shit's getting kind of spooky. And that's all I got to say on it. That is all I got to say on it. Let me swig some water. Hold up. We talking today. Whew. So, I was a little bit worried I wasn't going to be able to record an episode because I couldn't find a lot of news to talk about. But I asked you guys some like topic suggestions, and I'm not gonna lie, most of the time when I ask y'all for questions on Twitter, y'all questions fucking suck. That's why I only be having like 1 or 2 questions per episode. I would like to have more. I would like to implement you guys more and interact in the podcast and shit, but most of y'all questions fucking suck. And the reason I say they suck is because it's just a lot of repeating questions from people who clearly don't listen to the podcast. Because like if you listen to the podcast, and I said this like the last 3 episodes, you know I'd answered that fucking question already like 3 times, right? And that should be pissing me off. It's like you don't even like watch or support. You just want to be seen. Like damn. But anyways, I actually got a lot of really good questions, so there's gonna be a lot of questions here on this episode. And the first one comes from your average legend on Twitter. By the way, follow me on Twitter at Mr_I_keep_it_real. And he asks, what does Xbox have to do for you to invest in on the next gen? So basically saying, what does the Xbox have to do for me to basically get one next gen? I said this on stream, I'll say it here on the podcast. Let's go ahead and put it on wax. Pay attention to next gen. They announced holiday 2020 for the PS5. Let's see when they're going to announce for the Xbox. But I will say, just because they announced that holiday 2020, don't just go out and buy or pre-order a PS5 because you love the PS4. I advise everybody to be pro-consumer, and what that means is exercise your right to vote with your wallet. Please, 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 if you want things to improve, stop blindly buying things. Look at what the PS5 has to offer when they reveal it. Games, specs, features, and then look at what the Xbox has to offer in terms of games, specs, and features, and then you decide what's best for you. And maybe also pay attention to where your friends are going to, but decide what's best for you. Stop blindly buying stuff, because I always tell people, yes, in my opinion, the PS4 had a better run this generation. They fumbled the bag on the Xbox One, and a lot of that has to do with 2 things. The whole Don Matrick shit back at E3, I think it was like 2013, when he was saying if you can't afford if you don't want to be always online with the Xbox One, then just buy a Xbox 360. And then they also lied about how you need that webcam to make the Xbox. There was a lot of shit. They fucked up at that E3, and it just left the bad taste in everybody's mouth. And then the Xbox didn't have no games hardly. We waited like 10 years for fucking Crackdown 3, and when it came out, that shit was hot ass. I mean, think about like the best games on the Xbox One X are the Elite controller, 4K Spotify, fucking Netflix, Hulu, freaking renewing your Xbox Live subscription. Those are some of the best games on Xbox Live. It was just really, really rough. And then you got Forza, I guess. You don't head ass boy. But it was just rough. So I would advise everybody, just because PS4 had a better run doesn't mean they're going to be better next gen, because we find one thing about Sony is they get cocky when they're winning. They were cocky after the PS2, because to this day the PS2 is the greatest selling console of all time. I think they just stopped selling it like 3 years ago. They were still selling it like in Brazil and other like third world countries and shit, because people were still buying it. But fucking when they're winning, they get cocky. And right now they're cocky, and the proof is in the fact that they just released. We're literally in the last year. We're like in the last 6 months of this generation, and they just enabled crossplay. Xbox has been had that shit for like 2 years now with Xbox and PC. They just enabled it, and that's because they're probably starting to notice that people are shitting on them for not being pro-consumer. And it's a confusing message, because if you remember during that E3 2013, Xbox came across as anti-consumer and PS4 came across as pro-consumer, because they were like, oh, you can trade your games and we don't have DRM and all this other shit. So I advise you to pay attention to what both companies are doing and whatever. For me to get an Xbox, and like I said, I was an Xbox 360 dude last generation. I came from the Modern Warfare lobbies, y'all already know. So like I'm gonna be paying attention. For Xbox, what they need to do is games. They didn't have no exclusives, and then the ones they did have, they weren't interesting. They announced last E3, no, 2 E3s ago, that they acquired 7 new studios, and my prediction has been for like the past few like GI podcasts, I think with those, like, people are complaining like, oh, they acquired 7 new studios, where the games at? My suspicion is those 2 studios are developing games for the next Xbox. It's not going to be like, what would be the point of, like, what would be the point of putting out The Last of Us 2 right now? You might as well just put it out on the PS5. Same thing with Ghost of Tsushima. You might as well make it a launch title for the PS5. I think those 7 studios that they acquired on the Xbox, they're making games for the next Xbox, so that they can have a crazy lineup. So they need a crazy lineup. This is gonna sound goofy. Console voice chat fucking sucks, man. Have you heard motherfuckers talk in the park on PS4? it sounds like they talking through a Vietnam radio, bro, calling in a damn airstrike and shit, bro. This shit is awful, and it blows your fucking eardrums out. I need voice chat to improve on console. Like, it's very important. Like, gaming is so social now. Like, I need quality voice chat. It's when you get used to Discord. I've been on Discord since 2014. When you get used to Discord, it's hard going back. Man, that audio is high quality. For those of you unaware, we record the podcast in Discord. And you hear the audio is fine. So I would not be mad if Xbox got rid of their fucking voice chat and implemented Discord into it. Same thing with PS5. PS5, Xbox, implement Discord. Then it can be like cross-platform, right? So then if I'm on my PC, I can be on Discord. If I'm on my phone, I can be on Discord. If I'm on my Xbox, I can be on Discord. And that'd be fire. And it also will bring communities together, because one of the problems is, like, let's say like content creators, they want to play with their community. Some of them play on Xbox, some of them play on PS4, some of us play on PC. And let's say a game like Fortnite that does have crossplay. I don't play that shit, but a lot of people do. It's inconvenient for somebody who plays on Xbox that plays with PC players to have to hop into the PC Discord just to talk with their PC friends. So implement Discord into Xbox, and then everybody can talk to everybody. It's crossplay. It's not going to hurt anything. If anything, it'd probably make you more money, because Discord has their own their Nitro service or whatever, and Discord being on your servers, I would imagine they'd have to pay some type of fee just to be on Xbox Live. So make it happen, man. Reach out. See, it's got to have amazing specs. Future-proof the specs, man. Future-proof. That was the problem with the Xbox and the PS4. They were underpowered the day they came out. I need some shit that does 4K 60 FPS, high quality graphics. Keep the controller the same. But honestly, it comes down to the games. It's kind of hard. Like, how can you innovate? How can you innovate on consoles? We're at a point in gaming where it's like, where do we go? I will say, if they make the new Xbox all digital like it's rumored to be, please have at least a 2 terabyte hard drive in that bitch at launch. 1 terabyte is not enough in 2019 and beyond. Fucking Call of Duty is 165 gigabytes. At launch, it better have 2 terabytes. And to be honest, hard drives are cheap now. Don't be fooled, man. These companies be scamming you. They fucking put out a console, then a year later they put out a console with a bigger hard drive, and they charge you like an extra $500 for that bitch, bro. Really? It should be 5 terabytes in that bitch. 5 at least. Nigga want 10. I'm just saying, bro. I don't want to have to go, like, I know you can go and buy a hard drive off of Amazon or Best Buy. I mean, who goes to Best Buy? Nobody walks into stores and shit and be social. That's not cool. You can buy a hard drive and install it into your PS4 and upgrade it and shit, but ain't nobody trying to crack open a PS4. At least console gamers, I know, because then that defeats the point. You might as well just become a damn PC gamer. So put a big ass hard drive in that bitch, and please do not make it more than $500. $600 consoles. When you get into the $600 range, you're talking gaming PCs now. And if these consoles come out and they are $600, I advise everybody to just make a gaming PC. $500 and below. Realistically, I'm more comfortable with like $400, $350. Shit, $399. Like, you know how that, I don't know what that was. But that's what I would need from the Xbox. What about y'all? Y'all let me know. I might upload this version, this audio to YouTube, see what people want from the Xbox. I'm not 100% what I want. I'm just gonna kind of sit back and see if I like it or not. Moving on to that's all I got for like the tech stuff. I guess they kind of fell into gaming too. I need to take a swig of this water. I've been talking on. Okay, moving on to the life section of the podcast. These are all questions from you guys on Twitter. Once again, feel free to follow me on Twitter at Mr_I keep it real. Follow me on IG at the.black.glow Kage. That's GLOKAGE. Glow Kage. I'm not gonna lie, this water be hitting when you're talking all damn day. First question comes from a chat regular, Absmooth. He says, what are some mistakes that you made while networking? All right, so the first mistake I made while networking, freaking, like, why am I feeling myself? Like, I'm checking myself for cancer and shit. You know, the funny shit is, like, I put the audio out in this podcast first, and like, ever since this is like the 3rd episode, I think I recorded a video. Like, I wonder what y'all be like, for those of you who listen to audio and like who've never even seen the video version, I wonder what y'all be like thinking, like, what the fuck is this motherfucker talking about? He's checking for cancer and shit. Like, fucking, I just like rubbing myself and shit, bro. But anyways, he asks, what are some mistakes you made networking? First mistake I made networking, when it comes to networking at least, is not networking at all. When I first started popping, freaking, I thought the way the world works is if you hot, they gonna come to you. And life has taught me it don't matter how hot you are, unless you like PewDiePie level of hot, Ninja level of hot, motherfuckers is not coming to you. You have to stick your neck out and you have to reach out and make people aware of you, because the world is a big place, and fuck the internet. This is just life in general, whether you're working or whatever. You can be the hottest fucking beat maker in your city, bro. That doesn't mean somebody in fucking LA has heard of you. So you have to go out and you have to meet people, and you have to make people aware of who you are and stuff like that. So that was the first mistake I made, just not even talking to people. I used to just think, oh, my shit's hot, like people gonna reach out. Nah, sometimes they do reach out, like, but I've learned, I've gotten listen, you know why I don't get mad? Like, people who be talking, this is for the people like in the comment section on YouTube, people talk so much fucking shit to me on fucking YouTube. The Twitch chat is chill, because those are more your like I don't want to say thoroughbred, more dedicated followers. But YouTube, it's more like the flaky followers. There are some hardcore ones that just don't have time to come to the Twitch stream. I understand that type of stuff like that. But like YouTube, them comments, man, they be talking so much shit. Oh, you fell off. You don't get this amount of views. You know, you ain't this. Like, bruh, you know why none of that shit pisses me off? Because I've made more money in the last like 3 to 4 years, which is, I changed my name from NWN to the Black Hokage like 4 or 5 years ago. I've made more money since I've changed my name than I ever did when I was modern. You know what they used to tell me when I was modern or Negro, bro? One of my old managers, one of my old MCN network managers, he's like, man, I could get you this brand deal, but like they won't fuck with you because your name. And niggas don't want to hear that shit, bro. I don't give a fuck what you, oh, you was so much funnier when you hit, if you go back and watch my videos when I was NWN, I told you niggas, I'm here to get a fucking bag, and I'm not here to apologize about that shit either. You niggas is not gonna tell me how to pay my bills. That doesn't mean I'm out here selling out or nothing like that. I wouldn't take any type of brand deal that I feel like doesn't represent me or is a good look. Like, I'm not gonna be out here. Like, I've had I'm not gonna lie, yo. I just got a text message from an ad company that I work with. I got an offer to promote. Hold up, let me look at my phone. It was Trojan vibrating condoms or something like that. Like, I've gotten that. I've gotten some other shit. We got offered for ED pills one time for the GI podcast. If you know what ED is, it's erectile dysfunction. Basically, you can't get your dick up. So we got basically a dick pill offer or whatever. So like I be getting brand deals that are like, and they pay good money. They pay good money, but I don't take them because like I don't feel like that's appropriate in terms of my brand. And also, I just don't want. I know there's some kids like watching. I don't want to push that type of shit on them. That shit, and this shit's just weird. Like, I'm not like what I look like. Y'all coming through to the Twitch stream and shit, and niggas pull up like, yo, what's good? Yo, check it out, I got a new cock ring, y'all should check out. Like, that shit is weird, bro. That shit is fucking weird. So like, there's certain things that like I keep my integrity, I don't take it. But like, if it makes sense, like I just secured a bag for a clothing company for the GI podcast. There's this debt relief program that reached out to us. They wanted to pay us. Y'all see, we got a brand deal with Candid. This nigga, yo, I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. This is what I say. I'm gonna be feeling bad about you niggas talking shit about my views and shit. Like, we out here getting money, nigga. This nigga JG, I secured a bag for the GI podcast. Candid, I'll talk about it a little bit. Candid, they make aligners. They fix your teeth instead of going to the orthodontist and getting braces, which are super expensive. This nigga JG got a free pair of braces because of the GI podcast. And not only did he get a free pair of braces, and if you look at, I ain't gonna say how much they cost, but you can feel free to look up how much braces cost. He got a free. That's why, for those of you wondering, if you go through JG's podcast, not podcast, but you go to JG's stream, that's why sometimes he talks and it sounds kind of muffled, because he has his Invisaligner on. He got free braces, and they threw the bag to us, nigga. And I'm not gonna disclose because I don't think that's appropriate to tell you how much we got paid, but they threw a bag to us. And this nigga got free braces. Feel free to Google how much braces are. And we got a bag on top of that. So fuck you niggas. I don't give a fuck. What's the name? Fucking, we got all different types. If you pay attention to the GI podcast, I mean, if you pay attention to the Twitch streams, the different brands that we work with, what the fuck am I talking about? I don't even know where I'll go. Oh, well, I was saying, this is why I've made more money. This is why I don't get mad that when people talk shit to me about, oh, this, that, and like, yo, your favorite YouTubers be getting millions of views and don't get no money, bruh. Just more money does not equal more views. You got to learn how to network and talk to people, and you have to also be able to express the value in your content. There's a lot of bitches on Instagram that got 4 million followers and can only sell 2 t-shirts. That's not influence, bro. I'd rather have like my, let's say 10,000 followers, and I can sell 5,000 t-shirts. Just because you have someone has a lot of followers doesn't mean they have true influence. Some people are just get followed because they're fucking crazy, like that Boont gang nigga. Like, people just followed him because he did dumb shit. He doesn't have actual influence because nobody's going out and destroying other people's property. Everybody's just laughing, and it's like, look at this clown, like, look at this shit right here, bro. So understand that I may not have the biggest audience, but I have actual influence, and when you have actual influence, you can convert that into dollars. So if you want a piece of advice, build real relationships with people, with your audience. Like, y'all know, like, I'm not gonna co-sign just anything, bruh. And that's why people trust me when I say things. So when you can build that real relationship with your audience, you can make some real money. You can convert it into real dollars. And that's why I don't get upset when people talk about my views and shit, because I already told y'all, first of all, I don't want to be Ninja. I don't want to be PewDiePie. I don't want to be that popular, bro. That shit is not lit. Niggas stalking you. Fucking, I had one time, this nigga, when I was streaming on Twitch, somebody fucking posted in the Twitch chat. He posted an address of a place I used to hang out, like, in high school or whatever. And then he said, like, my full name in the chat. And, like, I didn't even acknowledge it. But, like, when you're like a big ass white streamer or a big ass YouTuber like that, a big white YouTuber like that, that's the type of shit they constantly deal with. I don't want to deal with no stalker ass weirdos, bro. I'm just trying to get enough to be comfortable, like Rudy Huxtable, bro. So first thing, what the fuck was I talking about? First thing is, make sure that you actually talk to people. Don't be afraid. Second thing, this is one of the more recent things that I've learned, and it's kind of, be patient when it comes to networking. When I was younger and I would try to network, and when I would get frustrated with people, at least on this nerd side of shit, is I just would think that, like, a lot of people, and this is somebody from Ubisoft taught me this. I was telling one of the PR people from Ubisoft, I was like, I feel like I have a hard time networking with other content creators because I'm black. And, like, my experiences in life are completely different than a lot of times I'm the only black person in the room. Like, people talk so much shit. Like, it's crazy. My own audience talks so much fucking shit about me. And a lot of times I'm the only black person in the room. Like, a lot of your little favorite 2K YouTubers and all this shit, I'm not trying to, like, shit on them or nothing. Yeah, it's cool. They get flown out to 2K community day, but them niggas can't move in a lot of rooms that I move in because I do so many different things. I get invited to a lot of different things, and a lot of times I'm the only black person there. And, like, I used to think that they weren't, like, a lot of people wouldn't talk to me because I was black, and maybe they just wasn't feeling that or like they was racist or some shit like that. That's what I told the PR dude. I was like, I don't know what the fuck these people are. Like, they don't know how to deal with black people or whatever. I was like, I don't bite, but niggas be giving you, like, crazy looks. People be acting rude and shit like that. But he was telling me, he was like, you got to relax because you got to understand that a lot of these dudes are nerds and you're not socially. That's the problem. I don't consider myself socially awkward. And a lot of people at these events, he was teaching me, he's like, a lot of these nerds, they don't leave their room and they're socially awkward. He's like, I can tell you go outside and you enjoy life and you talk to people and shit like that. But a lot of these people here at these events, they don't, so they're socially awkward and they don't know how to talk to you. So some of them might be racist. He was saying, but he's like, I advise you to be patient and try not to flip the table and be judgmental, because some of it is they're just socially awkward. They don't know how to deal with different types of people because they've never dealt with different types of people, but that doesn't necessarily make them a racist. And I was like, you know what? I was like, when you break it down to me like that, I can understand where you're coming from. So now I try to be more patient and I try to be more open-minded. But that being said, it is still a lot of fucking pricks in this community. But that's the two things I would say. Also, have them business cards on deck. I have physical business cards as well as a resume on my phone, always ready to be shown off. I showed y'all that shit on stream. Y'all think I'm playing? If you're watching the video version of the podcast, that's gonna be on youtube.com/GI updates. You think I'm motherfucking playing? I'm gonna show it on the screen right now. I go to my photos on my phone, go to photos, I go, and you see it right there on the screen, go to resume, and then I can click it. And I always have my resume with me right there. Very easy to find. I keep it organized at the top in my favorites, and you can pinch to zoom. And then all I say, I have my skills listed and all that shit, my accomplishments. And I say, what's your phone number? And they'll be like, blah, 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 555-5555. And I send them my resume, and they're like, your resume don't even got to be lit. I'm like, this is another piece of advice. Your resume don't even got to be lit. By the way, I made this in Photoshop. Just the fact that you got it and you can just text it to them like that and they can pinch to zoom and just look at all your shit like that, because we're living in a digital age, they will be so fucking impressed by that shit. I promise you. I got you, bro. So those are some tips I got you for networking, just off the top of my head. Let me take a swig of this fucking water. Oh man. The next question comes from Daryl Ross on Twitter. Follow me. at Mr. Underscore, I keep it real. I'm gonna keep saying that. And he asks, has anyone from your past tried to come back into your life due to your growing success? The answer is yes. And all right, this is what I'm gonna say to this. Just because someone tries to come back, I'm tired of like seeing people talking about like, oh, I'm finding success, I'm coming up in the game, so then they start shitting on everybody because everybody didn't support them. I look at it as charge that to the game. Like, I hate to break it to people, but your vision is your vision. It's in your head. That's why it's called your vision. So not everybody's gonna see that, and not everybody. You have to understand. This is something that I've learned as I've gotten older. Just because people don't see your vision doesn't mean it's coming from a place of malice, if that makes sense. Like, it's not coming from a place of envy or they hate you. They just don't see your vision. It's not their fucking vision. Some people are haters, but most people, I would say, they just didn't see your vision. And just because they didn't see your vision and now you come up on them, it doesn't mean you get to treat them like shit, because I believe in karma and that shit will come back to you. I take it as charge that to the game, bruh. Charge that to the fucking game. Plus, you don't want to be that person that's successful and is walking around and just bitter and mad at everybody because they didn't support you. It is what it is. So that's what I would say. I've had my own family members, immediate family members that I haven't talked to for years, come out of the cut. I've had cousins that I've never met fucking tweet me on Twitter, hey, I'm your cousin, yo, we should link, I see your videos and all this other shit. Then I like text my mom, like, yo, you know this nigga? You're like, yeah, like, I don't know about him. Like, all right, well, I'm gonna keep it moving. So like, yeah, that shit's gonna happen, but it's not a reason to be angry. I try to focus more on what I have versus what I don't. I don't understand that mindset of just fucking being mad all the time. Like, I'm Gucci, I'm good, I'm gonna keep working, I'm gonna keep grinding, and you'll be all right. So that's my advice to you. Like, yeah, it's gonna, whatever you're trying to be in life, if you're trying to be an engineer or the greatest there ever was, the Pokemon master, defeat the Final Four, understand that not everybody is gonna support you, and that's okay. It's not everybody's a hater just because they didn't support you. They might not have seen your vision, and that's okay. Doesn't mean you get to treat them like shit. Just, you know, keep them at arm's length, mind your business and keep it moving, get to the money. That's what you should be focused on, getting to the money. If you really out there getting a bag like you say you are, then there's no reason all that extra shit should phase you, bruh. What Future say, you do what you want when you popping. I was listening to that shit yesterday. I was like, you do what you want when you popping. That shit was hitting my core, because I felt that shit. Like, I got a lot of friends that work like a 9 to 5 and all this other shit. Like, I do whatever the fuck I want, bruh. I do what I want, bruh. So get it popping, dog. That's all I'm saying. I don't even know what the fuck's that. So the next question, it comes from, I think you pronounce his name Faxade, and he asks, what's the difference between being cocky and being confident? I wanted to answer this one because I've dealt with a lot of this in my life, man. I hate to break it to you, Fax, but first of all, the difference in my opinion between being cocky and being confident is, I guess, like, your attitude towards people. Like, being cocky to me is like you're just treating everybody like shit because you know you're good. Being confident is you know that you're good. Like, just because you can dunk on anybody, that means that you can dunk on anybody. Where am I going with this? But if you go around threatening to, like, yo, shut up, nigga, I dunk on you, like, that's cocky. Like, you're just being a fucking asshole about this shit. But like, being self-aware there's nothing wrong with that. It just means you're confident. But I'll say this about this, and why I want to talk about this. I've dealt with this all my life. I've been a pretty confident person my entire life because, like I said, I'm the funny guy. So a lot of perks come with that. And a lot of people don't know how to differentiate between being confident and being cocky. And another thing is, everybody says they like confident people, but those be the same people that will put you down or talk down about you because you're confident, and that's because they're threatened by your confidence. They say people like it until they see it, then they're threatened by it. Oh, look at this motherfucker trying to be something in life and shit. I'm sure a lot of y'all are dealing with that right now in life. You're probably living in the hood, or you living in a situation, maybe not even the hood, a situation you don't want to be in, and you grinding, you going to school, you working real hard, working 2-3 jobs and shit like that, and you see people just saying little slick shit on the side, like, you confident, you finna get the fuck up out of there. Look at this motherfucker, think he goes, oh, look at this dude working out, trying to lose weight. You always gonna be a fat, like, people don't like that. I've had multiple women tell me that they wouldn't date me because I came across as a player, like I was cocky or some shit like that. I remember I had one girl specifically tell me that she's like, what I like about you is, like, you're cocky, but it's like that quiet cocky. And like I remember sitting there looking, I'm like, bitch, what are you talking about? Like, is that what you got at this conversation? Like, I don't think I'm better than anybody. Like if I thought I was better than anybody, I wouldn't be in the trenches. I trade jokes with anybody. I like to talk shit and trade jokes. And in order to be like a troll and roast with people, you gotta be in the trenches, bro. You gotta have a certain level of humility and humbleness. And I don't understand like why people would accuse you of that, but I remember shit like that. I've had multiple women telling me, oh, you're a little bit too confident. I think you got a lot of women. And I'm like, but you'd be the same chicks that be saying you want a confident dude. So people don't know a blessing when they got in front of them. I know I'm a blessing. My mama told me. So I'll say this about being cocky and being confident. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. If you feel like you're a confident person, you're feeling good about life. Kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier about freaking the success stuff. Like, just worry about yourself, man. Worry about yourself, man. Worrying about yourself. Ooh, my phone going off. Oh, my package from Amazon arrives. I'll get that later. I'm almost done. Yeah, just worry about yourself, man. I was playing Man of Median last night with Gypsy on Twitch. And like y'all saw, man, I didn't kill nobody while we played that game. It's a story-driven game. And all the times my character survived because I picked the choice to mind my business. Mind your business, man. Get your bag. You be good. And last but not least, the last question comes from Cat Quan, which is a great name, Cat Quan. Have people told you that you're acting white for liking anime or any music besides rap? Because I guess she's dealing with this, or he or she. I don't know. I don't want to assume anybody's gender here. Fucking, of course. When I was younger, like that shit used to like annoy me, but now I don't even care. I don't even fucking care about that shit. So I forgot who said this, but I once heard that like some of the biggest proponents of white supremacy are black people. And that's not their fault, because then we're blaming the victim. But basically they've been brainwashed, and they believe that black people are supposed to act a certain way. They believe they're not supposed to read and shit like that. And what I believe personally in natural selection. I believe in order for us as black people to create Wakanda, for us to go to the promised land, some niggas gonna have to get left behind. Just because a motherfucker's stupid or ignorant doesn't mean you shouldn't help them. If someone wants help, I will help them. But to those that enjoy being ignorant and don't see the bigger picture, I believe we gotta leave them behind. And it's these motherfuckers that are talking about you acting white and all this other shit. Like, what does that even fucking mean? I know how to fucking enunciate. Like, and just a piece of advice to you, Cat Quan. Whoever said this to you that made you ask this question, there's no reason to be upset with this, because what does that even mean? You're acting white for liking anime. First of all, anime is Japanese, so whoever said that to you is a fucking dumbass, and I advise you to you can steal that joke. I'm giving you permission. Like, nigga, you know anime is fucking Japanese. What do you mean I'm acting white? What the fuck are you talking about, dog? So I wouldn't get upset with that. Like I said though, natural selection, I think it's gonna get motherfuckers help who wants to be helped. But if motherfuckers want to be ignorant, cut them out of your life and watch your life just prosper once you don't have all that negativity drowning you and bringing you down and shit like that. And who the fuck don't like anime, bro? My name Black Hokage and shit, bro. Fucking like anime is lit, bro. How the fuck you don't like fucking Fire Force? That shit is literally fire, bro. That shit is literally fire. You know what I found? Because my ex, she thought that anime was for fucking weebs and losers and shit like that. And I put her on the Death Note, and I swear to God, like, she thought all anime was like Naruto, and she thought every character was just running around saying believe it and believe it, and she's like, that shit is for losers and people who don't shower. But I was like, I watch the shit and you fuck me every night, so what are you talking about? And she's like, that's a good point or whatever. So she's like, whatever. So I put it on the Death Note, right? Because I know she's like into like psychological stuff or whatever. On God, after like, she was a little spooked when Ryu came around, you know, the Shinigami, she was a little spooked, but I was like, don't be scared of his face, just keep watching till the end of the first episode, because the first couple episodes of Death Note are pretty lit. After like the first 3 episodes, she was hooked. She literally watched the first 2 seasons in like 2 or 3 days or whatever, and then after that she was like, all right, what's some other anime suggestions you got? So what I find for like people who make ignorant comments like that, like anime and shit, they're usually pretty ignorant. They don't understand that anime is like, it's almost like movies and television. There's a ton of different genres. Yes, you have and the most popular is probably shonen, your action, your blockbusters. Yes, you have shonen, but you have slice of life, you have drama, you have comedies. And I think most people aren't aware that anime is a very wide scope, and if you find something that's for you, it'll open you up to the other things, and then you might enjoy, you know, the other things. So if for the person that was asking, you know, why you're acting white or whatever, if they have an open mind, ask them what their interests are, and then maybe put them onto some type of anime or music too that isn't the norm or whatever, and maybe break the mold of what they thought. As far as the music goes, you said besides rap. Once again, just explain, like, you know, black people created every form of popular music in America, right? We created jazz, we created rock. Fucking, as far as I'm concerned, like, black pop is superior to everything else. Like, fucking Britney Spears has nothing on Michael Jackson or New Edition, Bobby Brown. Fucking, of course, we created hip hop. Like, all popular forms of music, we created it. And when we get tired of it, we'll throw it to the side. Fucking, because we motherfucking creative as shit. We black. I'm black and I'm proud. Anyways, fucking, we getting close to an hour. We're getting to it close to an hour. So let me go ahead and wrap this up. Last but not least, I got the music section. Freaking, I have one. I finally started listening to music again, because I'm not gonna lie, my playlist has been kind of stale. Like, I haven't been keeping up with music because I just been busy producing all this content and shit like that. And the one music suggestion that I got for you is Summer Walker came out with her album. She's the one that came out with the song Girls Need Love Too. Girls need love too. Girls need love too. Her album, it came out October 4th. It's called Over It. Don't judge a book by its cover, because I'm not gonna lie, like, the cover art on this shit look ratchet as fuck, but she's it's soulful music, bro. The opening track is fire. Honestly, you can listen to this whole, normally I would recommend a few songs, but it's 18 tracks. Honestly, you can listen to this all the way through without skipping a song. It is a pretty good album. Not something most people would. I listened to it while I was in the gym, but I don't think most people would listen to this album while in the gym. If I had to recommend a vibe for you to catch to this album, listen to it in the car when you're on the way home from like work, or when you're on the way to fuck your boo and shit. If you're just trying to catch, you know them late nights, when you're driving and shit, and you're just trying to catch a vibe, that's this type of album. Shit, like, she got a song on there with Usher called Come Through, where she remixed the Usher song. Like, that shit was just listen to it. It's called Over It by Summer Walker. That's the name of the album. It's on Spotify, Apple, all that other shit. Just like my podcast, which, by the way, I forgot to say, now that we're at the end of the podcast, don't forget to rate this podcast 5 stars. 5 stars, 5 stars, 5 stars. Everybody tweets me and they say how much they enjoy this show, and it really, like, whenever I take breaks, like, people constantly tweet me, yo, when's the next Hokage Thots? And like, you guys are really fucking with the podcast, and I really appreciate the support. So, but if you really, really, really want to support me, hit 5 stars on Apple Podcasts. If you're listening on Spotify, please open up the Apple app and rate it 5 stars. Also, I skipped this on my podcast notes. It's kind of weird to go back to the gaming. I'm not done yet, yo. This is just a quick hit. Just a quickie, okay? Just like fucking Miguel. Yo. I feel like I complain about this every podcast. NBA 2K20. Can y'all please... I never thought I would criticize a company for fucking patch notes. This is just a quickie. I'm just getting this out the way. You guys fucking suck, man. You guys patched. First of all, NBA 2K20 is a completely different game than it was at launch a month later. But anyway, since the last podcast, they came out with patch 1.05. There's supposed to be a patch that drops today, 0.6 or whatever. But I'm talking about patch 1.05. I noticed this. Whenever 2K drops a patch, they drop the patch notes like a week later. And their patch notes fucking suck. Stop saying you fix stuff in a game and then you don't even tell us what the fuck you fixed. And let me show y'all, bro. Here, I'm about to read y'all the patch notes for patch 1.05. It's 3 asterisks. Fixed an issue that caused some play now online, my team unlimited, play with friends, and all-star team game ups to disconnect prior to completion. Fixed an issue with some my team users were reporting their collector level progress was shown and being reset. And then the 3rd asterisk, many more fixes included to improve the overall experience of NBA 2K20. What the fuck is that? This patch was like 8 gigabytes, bruh. And you put 3 asterisks on your patch notes talking about we fixed a lot of issues. Fuck you. Oh my god. Y'all, I know y'all feeling my pain. I'm just trying to ball, bro. And by the way, this patch fucking sucks if you want my review on it. It's ruined the fucking game. I can't even shoot anymore. Fucking now there's a rumor there's a demigod glitch going around. I just watched the video. They found some type of build where this center is a glass cleaner who's shooting threes and he's speed boost dribbling and shit, bro. I'm not gonna lie, I'm contemplating taking a year off from 2K. I'm not gonna lie. Fucking 2K21 might get skipped. But then again, when they show off them PS5 graphics for 2K21, I'm lying. I'll probably buy it. Anyways, that's been this episode of Hokage Thoughts. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the show. I always enjoy recording it. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Please remember to rate the show 5 stars on Apple Podcasts. That's how you can help the show grow. I really appreciate everybody's support. And the next podcast will be when I come back from the wedding. JG's wedding or whatever. Other than that, that's all I got on my show notes, and I'll see you guys on the next episode of Hokage Thoughts.